beginning to drink coffee without adding anything extra, and actually trying to do a lot for my diet. Hope you guys enjoyed our videos last week, or our video last week. I realized I did have some troubles there with regards to the audio on one of those videos. I redid the video with better audio. However, if you see that as a problem, please leave comments, like, and share down below, so that I can read the comments and make the videos better moving forward. It's all about bringing us together, bringing Black people together, and getting motivated about our future and how to make an impact and change things. At some point, I will start trying to collect donations and those type of things. However, right now, I'm at a point where I'm not sure how I would use those revenues and the money that I might collect, and how I could best use that. However, I recommend that you guys really go out and find good charitable causes that help us promote as a people. So, on to today's topic. Today's topic is about Black millionaires and billionaires and how they can help our community in a bit of a better way than they are now. Not to say that they're not doing anything now that's helping us, because they actually are. We have a lot of people out there that are giving money, helping out the best they can. And really what this is about is giving some recommendations of things to consider when you're donating to our community, right? Or trying to make things better. One of the things I wanted to point out is that we have a lot of our millionaires and billionaires look to help out and donate to schools in our neighborhood, and help make those schools better, get them new books, those type of things. And I'm not saying that we should stop that, but what I do want to recommend is that we actually start looking at things that have a bigger impact, right? So let's invest in curriculums, right? Let's invest in helping to build out that curriculum and how it pertains to us, right? So much of the curriculum that we learn in school today is, quite frankly, it's very whitewashed. We don't learn anything about us other than, yeah, we were slaves, and the white man, Abraham Lincoln set us free, and ever since then it's just been bad. But everything else is great, right? Well, I'm not saying that we should exclude the European piece of our history here in America, but what I am saying is that we should look at helping to build those curriculums, right? Help build that curriculum. As an example, when we take world history, whether in grade school or high school or even college, right? We focus a lot on Europe and those type of things. And when it comes to Africa, yeah, they'll talk a little bit about the slave trade, but you don't really hear anything about the kingdoms, right? We've had kings. We've had a lot of great empires that came out of Africa, right? When you talk about the what went on in Europe during the Renaissance and those types of things, they don't talk about how a lot of the Renaissance was influenced by the African influence in Spain and other than Spain throughout that part of the world. A lot of times what they'll do, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Arabs, right? So Arabs have some of their history that has been very impactful and those type of things. But when we're talking about the Moors, we're talking about sub-Saharan Africans, right? And how they had an impact on a lot of the world, and it doesn't get covered. Now, I'm not trying to get into the topic of the Moors and sub-Saharan Africa from that perspective, just from the perspective of, come on, guys, let's take some of that money and help build curriculums, right? We can write books that are meant for schools in a way that give us role models and people to look up to, and to mimic and imitate, as opposed to what we have now, where Massa is always the one on top, so that's who you need to be like. No, that's not who we need to be like, right? We need to start with that, right? And it wouldn't be that difficult, right, for a millionaire or billionaire to actually, capture the revenue. They have the revenue, right? And being able to go around and get the people from schooling curriculums and get the historians that understand and know our history and incorporate that into American history, school books, right? And they could be online or it could be, in school. And then, we might would have to start, we could start our own homeschooling programs, right? Or we actually utilize this curriculum, right? So we meet what the Western would call the standardized curriculum, right? Whatever. But at the same time, they're learning about the real Egyptians and other than the Egyptians, right? There's more than what's going on in Egyptian. We turn on the TV, we see these white people playing Egyptians and all this other kind of stuff. They get real upset whenever we take somebody that's traditionally white and want to play them with a black person, but they've been doing this to us for a long time. So, to build these curriculums and things like that, this will have a long lasting impact on us as a people, right? And it might be something that our generation doesn't really see the benefit from, but definitely it's something that goes a long way, right? You just look outside and look at our kids today. A lot of them, who they look up to is not who we really want them looking up to, right? First, as fathers, we want them to look up to us. However, when it comes to history, when it comes to science and math and all that kind of stuff, you learn about how the Greeks and all these other people contributed to this and that, but you don't really learn where they got that from, right? And you don't really understand the contribution that we have made for the over the long haul to math and science as well, right? So Europeans and those guys, they've done a really good job of collecting all the information and to present it as them. But all that information, where'd it come from? Where'd they get it? Who did it? Those type of things. I think it would really be good for keep supporting schools and those type of things. But let's also come together and try to build our own curriculums and truly use our money to have a longer lasting impact on us as a whole, right? So, invest in those things. Also, right, we hear about gentrification all the time, right? Our neighborhoods, poor, run down, they're not invested in from the city, things go bad, and then, you see a bunch of rich white people coming in, buying everything up, turning everything into a Starbucks. I'll tell you what, why don't these millionaires and billionaires, choose a city or two or three, whatever they can afford, buy up the property, fix the property up, and still keep the rent at a decent rent for us, right? Open up restaurants and different businesses inside of those neighborhoods, right? And or even help open up learning centers, whatever it is you do, right? Where you've made your millions of dollars because you're good at something, right? Take that thing that you're good at, build it in our neighborhoods, right? And if it's investment, why don't you open up a how to investment center inside of our neighborhoods? And by inside of our neighborhoods, I don't mean where you got like 5 or 6 rich black folks living in a white neighborhood. I mean actually build these centers of education and those type of things in our neighborhoods, right? The property is cheap, and you can buy it cheap, right? And believe you me, we will respect you, right? You don't have to be scared. The media is talking about all the violence and black on black crime, which they're the biggest perpetrators of white on white crime we ever, compared to what they're accusing us of. And so I want to now move off to a lot of the rappers, right? The rappers and the musicians. A lot of these guys, and again, this is not about pointing the finger at them or saying that they're bad or whatever, because a lot of us, including those who are rich from music and being rappers and other than that, they're a victim of our education system too, right? And sometimes you just need a little reminder. And I understand that a lot of us make music off of, belittling women, especially our women, not other people women, but belittling our women, blacks, shooting blacks, right? It's okay. I understand you made your money. You're a millionaire now, and start a record label, right? Start a record label. Start a label, right? Promotions, those type of things. But let's do it in a way that we can actually promote music and promote the arts in a way that you didn't have to. You didn't have to, promote the music and arts in a way that you didn't really have the opportunity, right? So you made those millions and those type of things, and you did that because of one reason or the next. But why can't we start up music labels that don't promote death row, right? And this is not a slander against Death Row, right? So Death Row, they promoted lots of black musicians, and they made millions of dollars. Now I'm asking is, why don't you start up something, like a West African music club? I don't know, right? Uh, Call it something that promotes us, and promote music that is promoting us, right? Most of the time, let's be honest, it's all about the beat and those type of things and how the lyrics kind of integrate with the music. But why can't we have a label? And I'm not talking about Christian music or something like this, and I'm not talking bad about them either. But why can't we have a record label that if you're going to talk about women, you're going to talk about black women, and you're going to talk about black women in a very responsible and a very respectful way. Why can't we have that? Right? That would be awesome. Right? Um, and as I go on, the call for this particular message is let's rethink the way we're spending our money. Right? And by our money, I mean the black millionaires and billionaires. And those of you who are not millionaires and billionaires, but you're doing the best you can as well. Right? Um, Start up YouTube channels if you're a video editing expert, right? And just try to promote the message. Maybe you're making cartoons or something like this. Work on cartoons that are constructive for us, right? And I know a lot of people have tried that, and unfortunately, we tend to not support those things. But when you do know about those things, publish them down in the comments. I would like to hear about those and to spread those things out as much as I can. So that's all I have for this week. Again, next week, what I'm going to talk about is Kanye West is running for president. Should we support him? Should we not? If we support him, why should we? If we don't, why shouldn't we? And that's my message for today. Thanks.